Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's maths lesson. Now, in our maths lessons last week, we were looking at different 2D shapes, weren't we? We looked at the names of the shapes, and we also looked at how many sides and how many vertices each of the 2D shapes have. Now, today we are going to be using those 2D shapes to make patterns. But before we start making patterns with our 2D shapes, let's warm up our brains with our flashback. So here is your flashback for today. You have 3 questions. In the first question, you have a tally chart which shows how many children have cats and how many children have dogs. And you need to work out how many more children have dogs than cats. So do you need to do an addition or a subtraction to work out how many more? Then number 2, how many vertices does a rectangle have? Now, can you remember what a vertex is? And if you do, that's fantastic because you can count how many vertices there are on a rectangle. Then number 3, subtract 12 from 43. So I would recommend using column subtraction for this question. Okay, so pause the video now and have a go at your flashback. Okay, Year 2, so let's see how you got on. Well, number 1, before we answer the question of how many more children have dogs than cats, let's work out how many children have cats and how many children have dogs. Now, can you see for the tally next to cats, we have 2 of these 4 tally marks with a diagonal line through the last 4 tally marks. Well, what does that diagonal line represent? Yes, it represents the 5th child who has a cat, doesn't it? So therefore, we can count in 5s. We've got 5, 10, and then we have the 1 tally mark on its own, which gives us 11. 11 children have cats. Now, how many children have dogs? Well, we have got 3 lots of 5 here, so we can count up in steps of 5 3 times. Are you ready? We count with me. 5, 10, 15. Stop, we've counted 3 steps of 5 and we've got to 15. So 15 children have dogs. Okay, so now we've worked out how many children have cats and how many children have dogs. We need to work out how many more children have dogs than cats. Now, if we're working out how many more, we're working out the difference. So therefore, we need to do a subtraction. Now, when we do a subtraction, we always start with the largest number, don't we? So are there more children who have cats or dogs? Ah, yes, more children have dogs. So we have to start with 15 and subtract 11, which is the number of children that have cats. Now, what is 15 subtract 11? Oh, yes, you're right. It's 4, isn't it? Fantastic. So 4 more children have dogs than cats. Now, number 2, how many vertices does a rectangle have? Now, remember, a vertex is where 2 lines, 2 sides of the shape meet. It's another word for a corner, isn't it? So therefore, let's get our rectangle and count with me as I circle the vertices. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there any more? No, there aren't, are there? So therefore, a rectangle has 4 vertices. Okay, next one, subtract 12 from 43. So let's get our column subtraction and let's start with the ones. So what's 3 subtract 2? Oh, yes, it's 1, isn't it? And what is 4 subtract 1 for the 10s? Yes, 4 subtract 1 is 3. So therefore, 43 subtract 12 is 31. Okay, Year 2, so well done if you got those correct. Now let's move on to today's learning. So I am going to unshare my screen with you. Give me one moment. Okay, hello Year 2. So as I said, today we are going to be making patterns with our 2D shapes. Now, what do I mean by a pattern? Could you pause the video now and have a little think for me? Okay, Year 2. So let's have a look at some examples of some patterns. So I have a pattern here. Okay, now, what does it mean by a pattern? Well, let's have a look. What is our first shape here? Yes, our first shape is a triangle, isn't it? And what comes after the triangle? Well, it's a circle. Okay, so we have a triangle, a circle, and what's after that? Oh, it's another triangle. So therefore, we've started again, haven't we? So we had the triangle and the circle, And now we are repeating our pattern. So we've got a triangle, a circle, a triangle, a circle. So look, we've repeated it again. There's our triangle and our circle again. And then we have a triangle and a circle. So again, we have repeated it. So there we go. We have a repeating pattern here, which goes triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. Now, we don't always have just two shapes in our pattern, though. Sometimes we can have more than two shapes. For example, look at this one here. We don't have two shapes in this pattern, do we? Like we did last time. No, because look, here we have a pentagon. And then what do we have here too? Yes, we have a triangle. And then we have a circle. Okay, so we have a pentagon, a triangle, and a circle. And then we have a pentagon again. So therefore, here are our first three shapes. And then we are going to repeat those shapes. Look, we've got a pentagon, a triangle, a circle. And then we have a pentagon, a triangle, and a circle. So we repeated here the first three shapes. Okay, so we are now going to make our own patterns. So let's have a look at some shapes. Well, the first shape that I am going to have is a square. And then I'm going to have this shape. And then I'm going to have this shape. Okay, so I've got three shapes here. I have got a square. Then what do I have here? Yes, I have a circle. And then I have a square. So I've repeated, haven't I? I've got a square, circle, square. So what's going to be next? Is it going to be square, circle, square, square? No, it's not, is it? We need to make sure we're repeating. So after the first square, what did we have? Yes, we had a circle. So what are we going to need after the second square? Well, we're going to need a circle again, aren't we? There we go. Now, what are we going to need after that circle? So now we've got a square, a circle, a square, a circle. We're going to need another square again, aren't we? And then what are we going to need to finish off our pattern? So we've got square, circle, square, circle, square, circle. There we go. So we have got a pattern here and it's repeating because we're going square, circle, square, circle, square, circle. Okay, let's try another one, but this time we are going to have three shapes in our pattern. Okay, so our first shape in our pattern is going to be this one here. And then after that, we're going to have this shape here. Then we're going to have this shape, then this shape, then this shape. So we have got the purple shape here, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a hexagon. It has 6 sides. And then we have our cross, and then we have a circle. So we have our hexagon, cross, circle. Hexagon, cross. What needs to be next? Hexagon, cross, circle. Hexagon, cross. We're going to need another circle, aren't we? So I'm going to put it down here, even though it's the next part of our pattern. So hexagon, cross, circle. Hexagon, cross, circle. What's next? Well, what was after our circle here? And then that will tell us, oh yes, we had the purple hexagon, didn't we? So therefore, I need another hexagon. Now, what's after our hexagon? What have we had after our hexagon here and our hexagon here? Oh yes, we've had a cross. So we're going to need another cross. Now we have hexagon, cross, circle. Hexagon, cross, circle. Hexagon, cross. What do we need now? Well, yes, we need a circle because look, we have a hexagon circle here and a hexagon circle here. So we are going to need a hexagon and another circle. Fantastic. So now we are going to look at a pattern that I would like you to continue. Okay, so let's have a look at your pattern that you are going to look at. Well, the first shape in your pattern is going to be an oval. Okay. And then you're going to have a red circle. Then you're going to have a green triangle. And then you're going to have another oval. So you've got oval, circle, triangle, oval. Okay, now on your resource, which is called Year 2 Maths, 1st of March, Resource 1, you have these shapes. Okay, now you can either cut them out, or if you just want to draw the pattern so far and then continue it, that is also fine. So can you continue this pattern for me? Okay, Year 2, so let's have a look together. So we had oval, circle, triangle. Oval, what was after the last oval? Oh, it's a circle, wasn't it? So we're going to need a circle next. Now, what's going to come after our circle? Well, after this circle, we had a triangle. So we're going to go oval, circle, triangle, oval, circle, yes, triangle. Then what's next? Oval, circle, triangle, oval, circle, triangle. Well, after this triangle here, we have an oval. So we're going to need an oval after this triangle as well, aren't we? So there's our oval. And then what are we going to need after that? Well, after our oval here, we have a red circle. And after our oval here, we have another red circle. So it needs to go oval, circle, triangle, oval, circle, triangle, oval, circle, and our last shape is going to be a triangle, because look, after this red circle here, we have a triangle, and after the red circle here, we have a triangle. Well, fantastic. Well done if you got that